Imagine this, a lightning bolt disguised as a man slices through England's vaunted defence at Wembley, scoring twice, saving 2 more tries, and clocking 175 metres like it's a casual jog, while the home hero, the golden boy of Super League, limps off with just 65 metres and a rating that screams disaster. Reece Walsh vs Jack Welsby isn't just a matchup, it's the moment rugby league's future cracked open, exposing raw genius against unfulfilled promise. Who walks away the undisputed king of fullbacks? Buckle up, legends, smash the like button if you're Team Speed Demon, subscribe now for the unfiltered truth bombs, and drop your pick in the comments before I spill the verdict. This showdown's got more twists than a Broncos comeback, so don't blink. From the rain-slicked fields of Queensland to the roaring cauldrons of Suncorp Stadium, Reece Walsh burst onto the scene like a storm no one saw coming. Born in 2002, this Indigenous firecracker debuted for the Broncos at just 18, but 2025? That's when he ascended to God tier. Picture it, 21 games, 14 tries that left jaws on the floor, 26 try assists weaving magic for his mates, and an average of 147 running meters per outing that turned defenders into traffic cones. He didn't just play, he orchestrated chaos, racking up 34 line break assists, the league's deadliest weapon, and 127 tackle breaks that had opponents questioning their life choices. Then came the grand final, Broncos clawing back from the brink, Walsh snagging the Clive Churchill medal with a performance so electric it short-circuited the doubters. But wait, his errors piled up at 53, a chink in the armor that whispered vulnerability. Was this the peak, or just the prelude to international Armageddon? As the Ashes loomed, whispers grew, could the kid from Rockhampton humble the Palms on their turf? Little did we know, the real fireworks were brewing across the ditch, where a Lancashire lad was sharpening his claws, dreaming of revenge on foreign soil. And just when you think Walsh's domestic dominance is untouchable, enter the ghost of Super League past, a prodigy who'd already conquered England, but was he ready for the Aussies' blistering pace? Hold that thought, because the plot thickens in ways that'll have you glued. Jack Welsby, the St. Helens sensation born a year ahead in 2001, wasn't forged in tropical thunder, he was sculpted in the gritty mills of English rugby, debuting at 19 with a poise that screamed future captain. Fast forward to 2025 Super League, 19 appearances, 6 tries that were pure artistry, 19 try assists that lit up the scoreboard like fireworks over Knowsley Road, and 56 attacking kicks that pinned opponents in their own end, forcing errors like clockwork. His average gain per carry hovered at a deceptive 6.13 meters, but don't let the numbers fool you. Welsby was the conductor, dictating tempo with vision sharper than a switchblade. Back-to-back Young Player of the Year awards weren't flukes, they were prophecies. Yet, shadows loomed, injuries sidelined him early, and when he returned in round 22 against Huddersfield, that 52-4 demolition felt like a resurrection. He captained sporadically, shouldering the weight of a Saints side gunning for glory, but the tries dried up compared to his explosive 2023. Whispers of an NRL move to the Warriors swirled, tempting fate across the Tasman. Then, the Ashes called England's last hope pinned on their homegrown talisman. Fans packed Wembley, hearts pounding, believing Welsby's ball-playing wizardry would outfox the Kangaroos' flair. But as the whistle blew, reality hit like a brick wall. Dom Young and Herbie Farnworth carved lanes, but it was Walsh's shadow that haunted Welsby most. 65 measly meters? A defensive masterclass turned comedy of errors? The crowd's roar turned to stunned silence as Australia piled on 26 unanswered points early. Was this the prodigal son's reckoning, or just a bad night in a career of brilliance? Tease your mind, if domestic leagues are playgrounds, internationals are coliseums, and one fullback emerged bloodied but unbowed. But rewind to their formative fires, Walsh dodging tackles in junior reps, Welsby slinging passes in academy finals. Who had the edge in the cradle of their crafts? The answer's buried in stats that surprise even the diehards, leading us straight into the heart of their head-to-head inferno. Now, crank the drama, pitting Super League silk against NRL steel in a hypothetical blender of stats, and the sparks fly wild. Normalize the season's Welsby's 19 games versus Walsh's 21, and the Kiwi import edges try assists per match at 1.24 to 1.0, but Walsh's 14 cherries dwarf Welsby's 6, a 0.67 tries per game blitz that screams finisher. Running meters? Walsh's 147 average per game laps, Welsby's implied 100 plus, his tackle breaks, 127 total, a demolition derby to Welsby's more measured probes. Kicks? Welsby's 56 edge the creativity, but Walsh's line break assists, 34, are cheat codes, turning halves into routes. Defensively, both leak errors, Walsh's 53 to Welsby's untracked but evident in Ashes footage, but Walsh's 2 try saves in that Wembley massacre flipped the script, his 73.8% tackle efficiency a fortress where Welsby's faltered at 4 points rated. Surprise twist, Welsby's captaincy minutes, 5 games, instill leadership Walsh lacks at 23, yet the Aussie kid's Clive Churchill blow outshines Super League gongs. Compelling as their tales are, Walsh rising from Warriors exile to Broncos savior, Welsby from Lee loan to Saints icon. The Ashes was the ultimate litmus. England 6, Australia 26, Walsh's double strikes and 175-meter rampage versus Welsby's ghosting, his positional duel a slaughter where speed trumped smarts. Fans bayed for change post-match, dubbing Welsby awful in defense, while Walsh repeated grand final sorcery, earning world's best chance. But here's the gut punch cliffhanger: if Welsby bolts to NRL in 2026, does he eclipse the Bronco? Or does Walsh's indigenous heart and X-factor keep him enthroned? Dive deeper into their mental games: Walsh's error-prone flair versus Welsby's cool under English pressure, and the verdict heaters. Imagine them swapping leagues: Walsh in wet wool, Welsby in brutal heat. The numbers tilt, but legacy? That's the thunderclap waiting. And speaking of legacies, if you're devouring this rivalry like a Sunday roast, smash subscribe to Aussie NRL Updates, your go-to for Down Under domination decoded. Verdict drops like a hammer: Reece Walsh reigns supreme, the better fullback in 2025's brutal ballet, his explosive edge and Ash's annihilation sealing the deal over Welsby's elegant but exposed game. Walsh's stats scream supernova: 14 tries, 34 line breaks assisted, that grand final medal gleaming like stolen fire, while Welsby's 6 tries and kick mastery feel like a poet in a cage fight. The storytelling? Walsh's arc from prodigy to premiership poet, dodging demons of doubt to dazzle on Wembley's hallowed turf, outshines Welsby's steady climb marred by that international implosion. Moments of surprise pepper their paths: Walsh's 53 errors a hidden flaw redeemed by clutch heroics, Welsby's injury bounceback a phoenix rise undercut by 65-meter shame. Cliffhanger resolved yet teases linger: second Ash's test, Welsby rebounds? Walsh falters under English guile? Their rivalry's no flash in the pan, it's the blueprint for fullback evolution, speed and vision colliding in eternal dance. Walsh wins today, but Welsby's whisper of potential keeps the flame flickering. What's your take: Broncos blaze or Saints subtlety? Rally in the comments, share this script with your footy fam, and lock in notifications, because next up, we dissect the grand final fallout that shook the league to its core. Aussie NRL Updates, where the hits never stop, and the truths cut deepest. See you on the other side of the siren.